Next up, we've got the game between Manchester City and Arsenal at Eastlands. A huge game for Emmanuel Adebayor. He's made a great start there, hasn't he, Steve? There's always talk about his attitude, and the Arsenal fans, I'm sure, will give him plenty of stick here, but he's been terrific for City.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was hard done by at Arsenal. You're off the back of a fantastic season. Okay, he didn't quite attain those heights, but the job he was asked to do at Arsenal, he got very little support and get an awful lot of decent service and still scored a lot of goals. So, I mean, he maintains that he was hard done by. I think in a way Arsene Wenger also felt like that.
Yeah.
And he's done him a favour by letting him go, because he knew that the tide had turned against him. It was always going to be a tough call for him to turn those fans around. But Man City have got a fantastic player on their hands.
Yeah, they certainly have. They've made a great start to the season, of course, City. But in a way, is it fair to say this is their first big test? Because
well, that's what I mean.
Some of their fixtures haven't been that difficult.
No, people are saying that. Yeah, it probably is. But we saw, we saw Arsenal. They said that about Arsenal last week. That was their first real big test. And you've got to say, apart from the result, they came through it well, because they were the better side over the period of the 90 minutes. No, I'm convinced by Man City. I don't need to see them against Arsenal.
Yeah. You think they're the real deal?
He's kept it simple. They're the real deal because they've got good players, and the manager's kept it simple. I keep saying this, and that's the only reason they're going to fluff their lines is if he starts playing the 4-3-2-1.
Yeah, starts messing around
8, 9,
with...
yeah, whatever you want to call it, whatever system or shape that is not comfortable for those players. He's not doing that. He's playing 4-4-2, and that's why it's almost been a seamless transition from bringing those players in to equating them with each other and getting results. So we've got 2 games this week. We've got Spurs, who will also have pretensions of getting into the top 4.
Absolutely.
And their game will tell us an awful lot. And this one, so no, I see this will be a tight game. This Man City are a decent side now.
Well, Manchester City, Steve's mentioned the top 4 issue. They're now 6-4 to break into the top 4 this season. They're also, Steve, as big as 2-1 to win at home to Arsenal. I mean, that's a huge price, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, both Tottenham and Tottenham and Man City, there's still value about them when they play the top 4, aren't they? We saw, we flagged up when Tottenham played at home to Liverpool, and we couldn't have been any stronger on Tottenham for that game. Right. And that's the way it proved. I'm not so sure about this one, because Arsenal were very good 2 weeks ago. But you still get the feeling that I'm not sure that this is a 2-1 shot at home. No, I agree with that. And obviously, if you don't fancy City to win, that 2-1 price on City at least reflects the type of value you'll get if you look at the handicap markets, because all these markets are related to one another. Well, we've gone on the draw as our first bet at 9-4. It's the outsider of 3 on this game. Arsenal are around 17-11. Funny price, but that's the biggest one that we found on the match. You can look at City on the handicap with a 0-goal start, which would give you a safety net. It's a draw no bet wager. The second bet is on both teams to score. That's available at 3-4. And if you do fancy Adebayor to get on the score sheet against his old club, then he's available at a price of 2-1.